Alright, so we have got some highlights of the E3 events for you today. I'm going to list the timestamps here for each of the highlights. Just want to quickly mention a few things here for the upcoming Chapter 5. There will be 3 maps coming at the initial drop. Iwo Jima is confirmed. There will also be at least 7 weapons before the year 2020 and new vehicles. So far, from the concept arts, we see the BAR, the M1 Garand, the M1919 MMG, the M1903 Springfield, possibly the Type 99 Arisaka rifle, the M2 flamethrower, the Japanese Gundo, and so on. For vehicles, there are definitely the LVT, the Sherman tank, and the Type 97 Chiha. There was no mention of the 5v5 competitive mode, so that is definitely possible that it has been scrapped. We'll have to see. Alright, now on to the highlights.
The fight moves to the North African desert in a vast new map for Battlefield 5, Al Sundan. Prepare to engage alongside a lush desert coast and contrasting harsh environments. Axis forces have militarized the area with camps, a radar tower, and an airbase. You must fight over possession of these critical points. In Al Sundan, we've taken the vista used in a single-player war story under no flag and doubled down on air and land vehicle combat. With this, the location has been optimized for all-out multiplayer action. On this open map, it's up to you to shape the fight. With large distances, vehicle-based team play, and battles across ranges, you'll always have plenty of choices. Make good use of this sandbox to secure the win. Utilize vehicles, mounted guns, planes, and transports. Capture the strategic airfield to dominate the sky, or engage in fast-paced infantry battles in tight interior areas. Al Sundan is classic Battlefield. We can't wait to let you play it.
But with Under No Fly, they sort of took a little bit of a different approach to this and sort of made this big, wide-open experience. And that showed a lot of potential from a multiplayer perspective as well. So when we finished the game originally, the team wanted to sort of sit down and sort of a small group of them and take a shot at turning this into what could be an amazing Battlefield map. It's huge. This is a really big map. This is your sort of classic Battlefield sandbox map. This is where you're going to see, you know, tanks and planes and infantry and all of that together in sort of what is truly Battlefield. It's sort of built for that open world gameplay with, you know, depending on no matter how you want to play, there's something there for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I think if you look at it, there's room for all different play styles. So there's 6 flags on this when you're playing Conquest, and you can see here, even if you can see from the videos here, you've got, you know, when you go into the village, it's all about infantry play and speed and flanking through the things, and the bridge in the middle, it's all about, you know, sort of controlling that with infantry gameplay.
The Battle of Greece continues. On the Marita map, Allied forces are making a last stand to halt the Axis army sweeping through the region. You'll deploy on a sloping mountain ridge and within the tight streets of a rural town. The Allies control the town, but Axis troops are already on its fringes. The road down into the village is crucial, and you must fight to hold here or risk losing control of the region. You'll always have tactical choices nearby, with a close proximity to other key locations, so keep an eye out for them. Marita is an infantry-focused map, where all 4 soldier classes will be able to shine. Tanks and aircraft will stand aside for intense infantry gunfights and sneaky flanks in the cobbled streets. Hills and multi-story homes means unique vertical gameplay. Stay alert in this steep environment as the Battle of Greece rages on.
LA that put this together, and they built the Mercury map that everyone saw earlier this month. And so they really wanted to continue that story of the Battle of Greece, which is a bit of an unknown story, new to me as well, as you learn about this stuff. So it's really cool. It's sort of set on the Albanian-Greece border, sort of in the mountains there where the Axis power sort of started to push into Greece during the war. And it's sort of set above the clouds in this nice little quiet, well, I guess what used to be quiet village. Before,
Not anymore.
before these guys all show up. And it's quite a different experience than Mercury. And it's sort of a totally different style of gameplay that you would have seen in the game before.
So what kind of gameplay are we talking about? What's happening?
Well, so this is going to be a heavily infantry-focused map. So as Mr. Battlefield likes to put it, this is total creative chaos. So you're just going to see
I
some
love that.
absolute...
Creative chaos. Yeah.
So what we get there is just head-on just collisions in the middle of this map. And it's sort of what we try to do with all the new maps that we've created, spending a lot of time to figure out how do we make each one of them different. So when players go in and play one of these new maps, it sort of has a different feel than the ones they've played before to sort of create that different experience for them. So this one has... I guess for lack of a better way to put it, is sort of a banana shape to it. And that banana
Do you like
shape
their
sort of,
fruit?
well, I think fruit's important when you're doing game design, I think, obviously. And so the shape gives you sort of a variety of different play styles and sort of creates this sort of narrow channels for people to just run head on into each other, which really creates that chaos that is Battlefield.
Get up close and personal. With Chapter 4 defying the odds, new and intense close-quarter maps are coming to Battlefield 5. By popular demand, we're bringing more maps to players craving tighter types of multiplayer. Specially tailored for intimate infantry combat, the new Battlefields will challenge your squad in unique ways. Teamwork, skill, and adaptation are your keys to victory. Fight through an explosives production facility in Lofoten Islands and unseat the Axis occupation in Provence. Prepare to assemble your team and rise above your enemies, and prepare to learn more about these new battlefields later in the year.
I mean, taking a step back, we've been closely monitoring how players engage in Tides of War, and no surprise, I mean, they love the bigger modes like Conquest. It's always been kind of a Battlefield pillar. But it's been super fun to watch how they engage with passion and dedication in the smaller modes, like Squad Conquest, for example, which really became a success. And with that in mind, then, we've, together with the DICE LA studio, they've been going at it, tailoring maps that are specially made for smaller modes. And as such, being able to give that, you know, the close quarter feeling, the tight, what you say, the intimate combat.
Intimate infantry combat.
Oh, yeah, we need that on a T-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Intimate infantry.
We're making that platoon when we get back.
I mean, what kind of the sort of like key strategies then when you're playing
But
close quarters on this map?
You know, as we see with these smaller game modes, I mean, the key to this is just really good team play, really good squad play. And so, you know, sticking together and not leaving anybody behind like Mr. Freeman over here.
Let's have a look.
Well, this is the ultimate definition of a passion project. So Inge Göran, the original designer for Operation Metro, when we finished Battlefield 5 and shipped it, he wanted to do something that he just was truly invested in. So he kind of went down and he sat down and he came back with what was Operation Underground. And when he showed it to the team, we knew we just had to make this. And I think Lars is sort of being part of that journey in the beginning. I mean, you know how much this meant to the team.
You can see the true inspiration, but what Inge Göran and the talented crew with him has done is to kind of take at heart the feedback from the original Metro and started to provide especially a lot of flanking routes so that you can kind of move around and be smart about it. And tons of easy to spot ones, but also
Everyone
the
loves
most
a
sneaky
sneaky
ones.
flank.
Yeah,
Everyone
no,
loves
I
the
think
sneaky flank.
You know,
Cheeky,
high on
sneaky
the menu.
flank.
I mean, I think as you look at it, like this is not Metro remastered. This is, as the guys look at it, sort of reimagined. And I think you've got a bunch of different diverse areas. You've got big open courtyards, you know, at street level and narrow streets, and you go down into where you see in the video here where the subway cars are and into the sub basements, and you're going to find a whole bunch of different things and different ways to play and different styles. And I know the guys have a few surprises in there as well that I think the community is really going to enjoy when they get there.
So when do we get it?
That's
When
the
do we
big
play?
question for today. It's just when,
When?
You have to wait a
and
bit.
when.
October, between Chapter 4 and 5.
A timeless theatre of war, a new vision. Prepare to deploy to the Pacific. The team at DICE are hard at work creating an iconic World War II experience, releasing this fall with Chapter 5 of Battlefield 5. As the US and Japan enter the fight, you'll clash across several battlefields, including a modern take on an absolute classic, Iwo Jima. Since Battlefield began, the Pacific Theatre has been part of its DNA. Now, we're crafting the ultimate reimagining of the conflict. By capturing real-life environments and using the power of Frostbite, we're bringing you the Pacific realized with today's capabilities and technology. Take part in the US invasions as their unstoppable forces charge inland towards unwavering Japanese defenses. Use new amphibious units to pummel the war-ridden shores, and an expanded arsenal to bring your squad to victory. We have a lot more to share about the Pacific and how it will evolve Battlefield 5 later in the year. Stay tuned.
Okay, most importantly, you went on like a bunch of like research trips. Like, let's find out more about that. Oh, let's set the net one in Tahiti. Yeah. No, sorry.
It's hard work.
I know, it's amazing how many people are willing to make that extra effort to go to Hawaii in January in Stockholm.
Yeah.
So it's quite impressive. We really appreciate the team putting in that work.
Oh yeah, taking one for the
But
team,
obviously,
definitely.
I mean, this is the big new addition to Battlefield 5. So going back, new theater of war in the Pacific. I mean, this is a homecoming for Lars. I mean, not Iwo Jima itself, but the development of it. It's coming, Chapter 5, you're going to get those things. You're going to see some familiar places like Iwo Jima. We've got 2 other maps coming with that, so 3 maps coming with the initial package of the Pacific in Chapter 5. Some ones I think people are going to be really happy with what they're going to see. And I just say, in some of that, as you can hear from the ping in the trailer, some iconic weapons and things as well.
My Garand, it's coming, right?
Yes. We're living for the ping, so I mean, we wouldn't go to Iwo Jima without kind of the weaponry and the hardware. So bringing tons of iconic weapons, gadgets, and also, after all, it's Battlefield. So, of course, there will be a new set of vehicles, and we want to take that extra step and kind of start giving you the boats, fulfilling that sandbox of land, air, and sea. And the team has focused hard on capturing kind of that invasion experience. I mean, it was very much about island hopping during the war. So capturing the invasion experience and the amphibious warfare. So there's tons of new stuff and new gameplay to look forward to.